Hi everyone, this is Maria Jose Ramirez and I am a mental performance consultant and I help people to perform at their best under pressure. I've been doing CrossFit since 2009 and since then I've been coaching, competing and training. So today I want to share some strategies that can help you to perform at your best on the upcoming WOD for this Open. So let's start. Focus is the most important mental skill for any performer. It could be in CrossFit, any athlete, or even if they're studying, working, in anything. So focusing on the right things on the right time will make you to perform at your best and achieve high levels of performances. So, what is focus? Before explaining what is focus, think about two experiences. Think about your best performance in CrossFit. What were you thinking? What were you imagining? What were you feeling? And think of another occasion when you perform at your worst level. What were you thinking, feeling, or focusing on? Probably what you were thinking in these two different instances, what you're thinking when you're performing at your best, and when you're performing at your worst or not at your best, you're thinking and focusing on different things. And what you're focusing on those moments will probably influence how good or how well you perform in that instance. Okay? So, let's start. I will talk to you today about a model called the circles of attention, and this is a model from Hans Eberspacher, a German guy. And this model will help us to understand what can we do to focus on what we can focus to perform at our best and what mistakes we may have been doing that don't allow us to perform at our best level. Okay? So, the main circle, the circle most important, is the center one, which is called me and my task. In this circle is when you're focused on the here and now, when you're connected with your performance, when where nothing else exists on the world, when you're just there, present, feeling the moment. Okay, in this circle is when you will perform at your best in any type of situation, and usually in here you will hear a performer saying, it was I was flowing, nothing else existed in the world, everything, I couldn't hear the crowd, and I was just focusing on the moment, what I had to do right there. So this circle is the focus. What does it mean? You are connected and you're thinking on something technical, you're feeling something. For instance, in CrossFit, if you're focusing on your squat, you'll be thinking and feeling certain parts of your squat. You will be feeling the muscles of your squat. For instance, you will be feeling your legs or your quads or your abductors. You will be focusing on pushing your knees out, feeling get your back high, your elbows high, etc. Those are technical things that you'll be focusing on. You'll be focusing on certain key parts of the movement that help you to perform that movement at a high level, but it's something technical that you can control. Maybe it could be your breathing, and be focusing on the rhythm of your breathing, etc. But it's something technical, and that's key. Usually, in any moment, there will be 2 or 3 things that you will be focusing on. Okay, on your arms, pushing, or your abs, your hips, etc. Something that you can control. So this is me and my task. When you're here, you will perform at your best. The next circle, and this is when things start to get tricky and we start losing our performance and we don't perform at our best, is the environment. Or direct distractions. In this circle, for instance, we're thinking on the coach, we're thinking on our judge, we're thinking on the crowd, we are thinking on the video, we're thinking on anything else but our task. We're thinking on something external, usually. Something about the environment. It could be even that my tights are too tight, or like my shirt is uncomfortable. Anything unrelated with your task. Anything unrelated with the burpees you're doing at that moment. And a key aspect to realize and to understand that we cannot think on two things at the same time. Many women will say, I can think on many things at the same time, I can multitask, I can talk and write emails at the same time, etc. That's not a thing. We cannot focus on different things at the same time. What we usually do is we think on one, disconnect, think on another, disconnect, and we change tasks very fast. But at the same moment, we cannot think two things at the same time. So when I'm thinking on the environment, when I'm thinking on how my judge said no rep, when I'm thinking on him, I'm not thinking on keeping, for instance, like the weight on my heels on my squat, or keeping my elbows high, or like looking up, etc. I'm thinking on that and not on the task that I have right now at hand. Okay, that's the environment. Then the second circle, so the third circle, will be comparisons. What kind of thoughts we have here? For instance, when I think I should be stronger, I should be able to lift this. Last week I couldn't do this, and then today, I don't know. Or like, I should be faster in the burpees, I should squat better, I should be able to do certain other things. So I'm comparing. And what does that do? I'm comparing myself with me on the past or with myself in the future. Meaning, I'm not here right now. I'm not now, I'm not in this moment, I'm in the future or in the past. And also this circle could be related with comparing yourself with other people. For instance, like she's faster, stronger, and she's next to me, and like thinking on that comparison instead of the movement you have to do right now, which is something that you control. For instance, if you are struggling with the squat, instead of thinking, oh, I should be stronger, you should be thinking, push your knees out. And that's something you can control, okay? Next circle will be winning and losing. In here, when in this circle, when you think on winning or losing, you're thinking, okay, like if I do, I don't know, 80 burpees in the 7 minutes, I will, and while you're doing the burpees, if I do 10 more, if I do 20 more, I will win. Okay, instead of focusing on the burpees you're doing right now. So if you say, if I lift this weight, for instance, like the clean, like if I lift this clean, like this very heavy clean, or like this 150 clean, if I lift this, I will win. So then you're not focusing on doing the clean, or like putting like, I don't know, like pulling your elbows high and like putting yourself under the bar. You're thinking on the future. You're thinking on something that you cannot control, and like that's not related with the task you're doing right now. Okay, so that's winning or losing. The other circle next to it will be consequences. Usually these consequences are the consequences of winning and losing. Like for instance, like if I lift this heavy weight, like this 150 pounds, for instance, or 200 pounds, if I win, then that means I will be able to qualify for the I will be able to qualify, and then I will have to travel I will have to try and compete in another scenario. Okay, So that's the consequences. Like you're not, so that means you're not only thinking on the here and now, on the clean that you have to do, but you're like putting yourself on the future, on the end of your workout, and on the future like in 2 more months, for instance. Okay? And if you're thinking, okay, like if I lose, then tomorrow, for instance, like everyone, this usually doesn't happen, but like for instance, like, oh, but tomorrow probably everyone will laugh at me, or like everyone will criticize me, or what will say my coach, or what will say my partner, or like my friends are going to laugh because I'm not as strong as them, etc. So you're thinking on the future while you're doing that clean, while you're doing that burpee. Instead of focusing on pulling your knees out, for instance, you're thinking on the consequences. You're thinking on traveling, you're thinking on what other people will say, and that takes your energy out of what you have to do right now, which is to focus on the task you have at hand. Okay? And the last circle, it usually happens when we are performing at our less than best. It's called it's the meaning circle, which is, what am I doing here? Please let this workout to be done. I want to just stop. I want to be in my house. I don't want to do this anymore. Why am I here? So when you're in this circle, you're completely out of your focus. You're completely distracted. And usually you just feel miserable. And you want this to be finished, and you even question yourself why on earth you're doing CrossFit, why you'd sign up for this workout, etc. And here you're probably not performing as well. It's not all the time, but probably. So when you're performing in here, in the mean my task circle, that's when you perform at your best. When you're focusing on something technical that you can control. Knees out, elbows high, chest on the floor, lifting your, like, for instance, lifting your hips for burpees, etc. Okay? That's what you can control, and that's when you will perform at your best. When you're focusing moment to moment, movement to movement, etc. But when you start like drifting away from the middle circle, from your me and my task, and you start thinking on my judge is being very unfair, or like I should be faster, stronger, like what if I win this, or like if I lift this I will win, what if I win, and like what if I classify, or what I'm doing here, in all of these circles you will underperform, and you won't achieve the level you can achieve. So whenever it's normal to drift, okay? But what you want to do is like realize when you drift, and when you are in one of these circles, and come back to me and my task over and over, okay? You want to realize that you're in a circle, in one of these circles out, and you want to come back to a circle. Usually you can do this very fast if you know what is in here, okay? What is your task at that moment, and what 3 things can you focus on to help you to perform at your best? So remember, something technical, something you can control, and something on the here and now, okay? So for your next WOD, think and realize what are the movements, and what are the key focus on each movement. For instance, if it's a squat, for me will be pushing your knees out, as I told repetitive times. And for the burpees, I focus myself on like pulling my hips up and going down very fast. So for the next WOD, think what are the key technical things that you can do that will help you to refocus and come back to the circle of the middle when you're here. So when you're, for instance, when you're thinking, what am I doing here? I hope this finished very fast. I just want to die. I just want to finish this and like I'm done. Instead of thinking that, you will say, okay, you breathe one time and say, okay, focus on your hips, focus on the weight on the heels, focus on like keep your elbows high, etc. Okay, so as a summary, something you have to focus on. I will write that. Focus on the here and now. On something technical. Oh, tech. I don't know how you could spell technical, but like, bear with me. I hope it's like that. Sorry, English is my second language, so sometimes if I don't have the word spelling, I get confused. And 3, something that you can control. Okay, you can control pulling your knees out. Okay, so good luck for the next WODs, and if you have any questions or comments, please follow me in Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn on MGOSERM Ramirez. So Jose Ramirez C. Okay, hope this was helpful, and see you hopefully on the next video. Bye.